Why is it that so many hard-working people decide to quit right before they are about to become their wealthiest? Have you ever felt like you have been running a marathon on sand? You have worked for 30 years, you have been disciplined, and you have saved every month. But when you look at your retirement account balance, it does not look like the millions of dollars you see on the news. Maybe you have $200,000 or perhaps $500,000. It is a good amount, but in today's world, it feels small. You might be thinking that it is too late to make a real difference. But I want you to listen very closely to what I am about to say. If you are 55 years old or older, you are not at the end of the journey. In fact, you are standing at the starting line of the biggest wealth explosion you will ever experience. Most people fail to reach their full potential because they stop right at the curve where the magic happens. Today, we are going to talk about why the next 7 to 10 years are more important than the last 30 years combined. We are going to look at the math of the snowball effect and why your best financial days are still ahead of you. Welcome to a deeper look at your financial future. According to recent data from the Federal Reserve, the average person approaching retirement at age 62 has about $185,000 in their accounts. For many, this number brings a sense of deep anxiety. They worry about inflation eating away their buying power. They worry about becoming a financial burden to their children. This state of mind often leads to what I call decade fatigue. After decades of grinding, people just want to be done. They look at their $185,000 and think, this is all I have managed to do. They feel defeated, so they stop contributing. Or worse, they start withdrawing money early to fund a lifestyle they cannot yet afford. But this is exactly like building a massive campfire, nursing the sparks for hours, and then walking away just as the big logs are starting to catch fire. The first part of wealth building is always the hardest and the slowest. It is the excavation phase where you are digging the foundation. But once that foundation is set, the structure rises much faster than you can imagine. Let us talk about the math that the banks do not want you to focus on. There is a simple rule in finance called the Rule of 72. It tells you how long it takes for your money to double. If you invest in a broad market index like the S&P 500, which has returned about 10% annually over the long term, your money doubles roughly every 7 years. Think about what that means for someone who is 55 years old. Let us say you have managed to save $500,000 by age 55. If you simply leave that money alone and let it grow at 10%, by age 62, you have $1 million. Now, here is where it gets incredible. If you wait just 7 more years, until you are 69, that $1 million becomes $2 million. In those last 7 years, you earned $1 million without lifting a finger. That is more money than you probably saved in your first 25 years of working. The second million arrives 4 times faster than the first million did. This is the power of the snowball. In the beginning, the snowball is small, and you have to push it with all your strength. But as it grows, it gains its own momentum. Eventually, the snowball is so large that every single rotation adds more snow than the first mile of pushing ever did. This is why your wealth appears to explode right at the end of your career. It is not magic, it is just how compounding works. Compounding is a back-loaded process. The biggest gains are always saved for the very end. But to get to those gains, you have to stay in the game. You have to protect the principle and allow it to do its work. So, how do you actually execute this strategy when you are feeling the pressure to retire now? The first thing you need to understand is strategic patience. Sometimes, working just 1 or 2 more years can have a massive impact on your final outcome. Financial experts call this the 1 more year syndrome, but when used correctly, it is a powerful tool. By working a bit longer, you do 2 things at once. First, you give your existing investments more time to double. Second, you avoid withdrawing from your accounts during their most sensitive growth phase. If you can cover your living expenses with your salary for just a few more years, you are essentially supercharging your future self. For those of you in the United States, you also have the advantage of catch-up contributions. Once you pass the age of 50, the government allows you to put even more money into your 401k and your individual retirement accounts. This is a gift that you should take advantage of if you can. But even if you cannot add another dollar to your savings, the most important rule is to stop the leaks. Do not take on new debt at age 55. Do not buy the luxury car that loses half its value the moment you drive it off the lot. Instead, focus on keeping your expenses low so that your investment engine can run at full speed. Many people ask me, what happens if the market goes down right when I am about to retire? This is a valid fear, but it should not stop you from investing. The key is to have a safety net. We call this the bucket strategy. Keep 2 or 3 years of your living expenses in safe, liquid cash or short-term bonds. This is your first bucket. When the stock market is down, you live off this cash bucket. This allows your second bucket, which is your stock portfolio, to stay invested so it can recover and continue to grow. By having this buffer, you never have to sell your stocks at a loss. You can wait for the market to bounce back, which it historically always does. This peace of mind is what allows you to let the snowball keep rolling. Wealth is not just about the numbers on a screen. It is about the freedom those numbers provide. It is the freedom to say no to a toxic job because you know your money is working harder than you are. It is the freedom to travel or spend time with your grandchildren without checking your bank balance every hour. But that freedom requires a shift in your mindset. You have to stop viewing your 55-plus years as the decline of your productivity. Instead, view them as the harvest season of your life. Everything you have done for the last 3 decades has been preparing the soil. Now is the time when the crops actually grow. If you quit now, you are leaving the harvest in the field. Stay consistent and stay disciplined. Ignore the headlines that try to scare you into making emotional decisions. The math of the S&P 500 and the power of time are on your side. If you feel behind, remember that the curve is about to get much steeper. Your wealth will grow faster in the next 10 years than it did in the last 20. That is a mathematical reality that you can rely on. Take a deep breath and look at your plan again. Are you giving your snowball enough room to roll? Are you protecting your peace of mind with a cash buffer? If you do these things, you will find that retirement is not a time of scarcity, but a time of true abundance. You have worked hard for your money, and now it is time for your money to work hard for you. Let the compounding finish the job you started all those years ago. You are closer than you think. If you found this perspective helpful, please consider joining our community. We are dedicated to helping you protect and grow your legacy. Share your thoughts or your current stage of the journey in the comments below. Let us keep the snowball rolling together. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.